I'm Judy Shaw for NYSE Floor Talk. Joining me today is Tylis. He is co-owner of ClubNecaxa. Hi there, Al. Nice to see you.
Hi, Judy. Thanks for having me on.
Now, quick note to our viewers, this interview is for informational purposes only. The NYSE doesn't recommend any investments or investment strategies. All right, so Al, tell me, what's the motivation behind ClubNecaxa ownership interest in NFT?
We just acquired a 50% interest in the club with the Tinajero family, who has done a wonderful job operating the business for the last several years. And we saw a real big opportunity in Mexico. I've been involved in the sports business, and there has been a growing interest in soccer in Mexico. And even in the United States, there are currently more people who watch Liga MX games, that's the Mexican Soccer League, who watch those games in the United States more so than the Premier League and Major League Soccer combined. So that's what piqued our interest. And once we got involved, we have a great club and great brand that's been around for 98 years. And one of the things that we wanted to do was try to add some incrementally interesting, new, novel ideas. And one of the ways that we've approached that is with our launch of an NFT, which we did this morning. And it is the first ever NFT that's backed by an actual ownership in a club. So in this case, it's a one-of-one NFT. It's minted on the blockchain. It's the only one that'll ever be minted of its kind, and it represents a 1% interest in ClubNecaxa.
Okay. Now, tell me about the OpenSea auction. What's the process? How long will it take? How long will the auction be for? And can anyone make a bid?
Yeah, so the auction, it was launched this morning. It goes until June 18th at 3 p.m. Eastern. So we have about 2.5 weeks. We have a website that's dedicated just to this one single NFT. It's necaxanft.com. And on that website, you could see information about the token, and anybody who's interested in bidding needs to go through a process. There's a fairly rigorous KYC process that we're going through with anybody who wants to bid. And then there are, depending on the jurisdiction in which you're in, we've done the legal work in about 20 different countries to make sure that we're perfectly complying with applicable laws.
Now, Al, why the investment in ClubNecaxa and Liga MX?
As I mentioned before, I think ultimately sports teams have become more media properties than anything else. And then when you look at the massive amount of eyeballs that are watching the league, that was the initial thing that drew us to it. And from my perspective, it's a extremely, even though it's kind of right here, just south of the United States, it's extremely overlooked from a financial standpoint. And valuations of clubs in Liga MX have not reached those that you see just north of the border, even though, as I said, more people are watching Liga MX. The revenue streams are nearly identical in terms of the types of cash flows that come through, whether that be through television contracts, whether that be through sponsorships, whether that be through ticket sales. So for us, it was just, we look at it as a huge opportunity and an immensely undervalued asset that is incredibly popular. We're talking about just the US, but in Mexico, it's almost like the NFL, NBA, baseball, and hockey rolled up into one, right? And you've got this huge, it's just such a huge popular brand and sport in the country. And those are the things that attract us. And also there's also a demographic trend too, right? We're seeing here in the States, right? I think we have something like 36 million Mexican Americans. That number of total Spanish speakers, it's expected to be over 100 million in the next 15 or 20 years. And so you've got this massive tailwind from demographics coupled with a really great product on the pitch.
Al, do you see this as the evolution of the traditional sports ownership model?
I do. I think even more broadly speaking, this is, there's so many assets that today are illiquid that I think through technology, blockchain technology specifically, that become liquid over time. And I think this certainly falls into that category. And and when I say category, I feel like we're actually creating a new category. We're calling it a new category of an NFT. We're calling it the OI Professional Sports NFT, standing for Ownership Interest Before this Professional Sports NFT. And I do believe that this is a one of one token. It's scarce. It's the first of its kind. There's only going to be one owner of this, but ultimately you could take this in many different directions through ownership, fan engagement, and the like.
All right, now you have several partners that are globally recognized. They come from the world of sports and entertainment. Tell me about their involvement in this.
Yeah, so we have a number of athletes and celebrities in our group, and I've met all of them over the last couple of months, and their interest has been genuinely economic. They've seen the same opportunity as I have, which is we have this great asset that we think is undervalued, and then there's an opportunity to shine a light on it and help create a lot of incremental value. And so every one of them is a meaningful investor in the club, and we're excited to have them involved.
All right. Are you going to tell us who some of these folks are that are involved?
Sure, we will. So Eva Longoria, who's Mexican-American, Mesut Ozil, who, for those in the States who may be less familiar with him, he's a global soccer icon. He plays currently in Turkey. He played for Arsenal. He won the World Cup for the German national team, and has over 80 million social media followers. Justin Verlander, who's a great, soon to be Hall of Fame pitcher, and his wife, model and actress Kate Upton, are in our group. And there are 3 NBA players, one current, Victor Oladipo, 2 others, Sean Marion and Rip Hamilton, both of whom were all-stars and have won NBA championships, and Bodie Miller, who's one of the great American skiers of all time.
Wow, that's quite a group of investors you have there. All right,
Yeah.
So now there's also a charity component to this. You have a portion of proceeds going to Project Sunshine and Rayos de Luz. What's your relationship with these organizations, and why did you decide to partner with them?
My wife and I started a family foundation a number of years ago after I sold my old business, and it's important for us to give back and help the community. We feel like we were fortunate, and it's important to give back. And in this instance, we think this is a unique situation and unique sale. We're in an interesting position to be able to monetize something, and we wanted to give back. And it's kind of the way we've approached our lives and our businesses is make sure we're giving back. And in the case of those 2 organizations, specifically Project Sunshine is an organization that does events for sick children in hospitals. I've been on the board for a number of years. I'm currently a vice chairman of the board. And the other organization is a local organization in Aguascalientes, which is where ClubNecaxa plays. And again, important to give back to local community.
All right. Well, that is fabulous. Al, congratulations again. This is wonderful. And it's been great to have you on NYSE Floor Talk.
Thanks so much, Judy. I appreciate you having me on.